host, Nikki. Thank you for joining me for episode 8. Tonight we're going to be talking about teen pregnancy. Okay, so that is our topic for tonight. Let me go ahead and get into my disclaimer so we can go ahead and jump into the topic, okay? I am not here as someone you should follow. I'm simply a messenger. Most of what I discuss is merely my opinion. I'm not guaranteeing anything when I speak, just life, positivity, and love, mainly love of self. I'm not perfect, nor am I claiming to be in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm a statistic having a spiritual journey of love, light, and peace. Please keep any negative comments to yourself, as your tongue is a powerful tool that should be used for speaking life, not death. Not death unto me or death unto any of the other viewers, okay? Join me as we release, we relax, and we reset, okay? Thank you again for joining me. I'm Nikki again. Thanks for watching the statistics. I hope that you all have had a wonderful week. I know that I certainly have had a pretty good week. It's been awesome, actually. We're just getting over Mother's Day, and I thought, why not discuss teen pregnancy, right? It's a pretty heavy topic. I think in our community, we see a lot of that, right? I know I was a teen mother, so I can definitely relate to the biases of being a teen mother, the stereotypes of being a teen mother. But let me tell you some statistics on where we are now with teen pregnancy. So as of 2016, births among Hispanic and Black teens have dropped by almost half since 2006, according to a new analysis published by the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control. While dramatic declines amongst Hispanic and Black teens, 51 and 44%, have helped reduce gaps, birth rates remain twice as high for these teens nationally compared with other white teens. In some states, birth rates amongst Hispanic and Black teens were more than 3 times as high as those that are white. So those are the statistics. It's actually dropped a lot, but we are still like the highest that have teen pregnancies in our culture. So, that's definitely, it's been a battle, it's been a struggle. I know that this has been going on, even back in slavery times where, there was a lot of pregnancies going on. And it just kind of progressed as the years have, gone by. And so for me, as a teen mom, I had my first child at 17 years old. And that was certainly a very hard time in my life. It was really hard. A lot because I didn't know what I was doing. I was still a child myself. I was kind of ostracized for, getting pregnant at 17. I certainly didn't see that in my future. I definitely wanted to have a certain amount of kids, but that was at a certain age I had in my mind. Like, okay, when I'm in my 30s, I want to start having children. And I had my first at 17, so it was definitely kind of traumatic, I just didn't feel like I had the type of support that I needed, but I made it through. But for other teens who go through issues like this, a lot of people don't have support. A lot of people feel ostracized. Some people may even want to, not have the baby or, find other methods like adoption. And so many people go that route. But if you choose to have your child, just know that it is a struggle, but your life isn't over. a lot of times we hear things like, oh, once you have your baby, your life is over. And that isn't true. Your life isn't over. It just may be a little bit harder to, accomplish some of your goals, especially if you don't have the support that you need. But your life definitely is not over. And I think that, that should be talked about a little bit more, because that definitely stayed in my mind. Like, oh my God, my life is just done. I just made the worst decision in my life. How could I do this? How could I do that? And it just creates a lot of anxiety. It creates a lot of self-doubt on, that person that you thought you were going to be, right? And it's not that you can't be that person anymore. It's just that, there's just different levels of planning that will have to take place in order for you to reach whatever goal it was you had before you became pregnant, and it's easier than said. But I struggled a lot. I had my second child I got pregnant with my second child at 19, which made it even more difficult, With my first child, I was still in high school. I hadn't graduated high school yet, just a junior. And having to go through just the whole struggle of going to high school with some of your friends and, being in that predicament of, okay, I'm about to be a mother while, my friends are out partying, or they're involved in this, they're involved in that. I'm no longer able to do those things, So there's definitely an element that stays in your mind as if I'm not worthy anymore of doing a lot of those things that I see my friends doing, because I decided to be a teen mom. I decided to have sex, or I decided not to use contraception, or, I decided not to get an abortion and have my baby. But, there's a lot of regrets that could go with that as well if you don't have the type of support that is needed. And I think we fall short a lot, especially in our community, when we hear about, young women having babies as teens. And I don't think we love on those mothers enough, or the dads, A lot of us come from impoverished areas. A lot of us didn't have our dads in our lives, not just the females, also the males too. So when you talk about becoming a parent, there's a lot of things that go with that, and if you don't have, your dad in your life or your mom in your life, it could go both ways. Sometimes you lack the fundamental tools that you need to be able to handle and cope with being a mother, being a father, And it's not always just, the dad, he's a deadbeat dad, he's not going to be there for you. And we know 9 times out of 10, if you get pregnant in your teen years, most likely you probably won't be with that same partner. Even with marriage, you may not be with the same partner. And that's difficult to fathom too, because I think when you have a child, that's what you want, especially if you didn't have that growing up. You want your child to be in a 2-parent home, and that doesn't always happen. So you kind of just have to, have a plan, figure out how you're going to co-parent. If co-parenting isn't something that's going to happen, you just have to try to figure out what's going to be the best route for you and your child. I think we also go through, I know I went through a period of just doing whatever it was I needed to do for my child or children, which was taking any job that I had to take because I wanted to support my child, I had to get on welfare because I didn't have anything, I didn't grow up in, luxury to the point where, money was not an issue. Oh, it was definitely an issue. And now with the child and my child needing things, and I'm young and I haven't really lived my life to see what it is that I really like to do or I enjoy doing to pick a career. I'm having to just take a McDonald's job, take whatever job I can get in order to support my child. So that was definitely hard. It was almost burdensome as well. And so I have 4 children now. But as I'm in my 30s and I look back over my life and, we just had Mother's Day and, receiving all these wonderful cards and gifts from my children. You're the best mom. We love you. Thank you for all that you do. In the back of my mind, there's still that I'm not doing enough, just the whole bashing and kind of beating myself up for past mistakes, not feeling like I am doing enough for my kids, even though that they're fed, they're clothed, they are loved, they get all the necessities that they need as a child. But still in the back of my mind, I feel like you're not doing enough. You have to make up for, remember this time you didn't do this, or this time, you put them in this situation. And it's just like, pause, okay? Let's pause for a minute. Let's take some honor in what we do try to do. If you're a teen mom and, or if you were a teen mom and you're older now and you have some of these thoughts that come in your mind, I certainly do. Let's just be gracious on ourselves, love ourselves to know we are doing the best that we can possibly do. Take a moment to breathe and just be happy in the space that you are in if you are trying to put it down for your kids, right? Because it's hard enough. It's hard enough trying to raise kids today. The cost of living is very expensive, not to mention all of the emotional things that they may go through and just learning how to parent. Like, I did not know how to parent, and still to this day, I struggle with parenting. I just do. And I think the hardest thing for me is setting boundaries. I don't do that well with setting boundaries, but I know that it is important for my children, that they need boundaries. You can't just be your child's friends, all the time. They actually need a parent, So there's just a lot of different elements. If you are a teen mother, if you're pregnant now, if you were a teen mother and you are, like I said before, at an age now where you can kind of look back over your life and you may see some things that you probably didn't like, the way that you've handled parenting, or any of those struggles that have happened in your life, or maybe you were just now dealing with, oh my gosh, I was a teen parent. I had my babies really young. I was a baby myself. I didn't know how to be a mom. And now you're coming into grips of, really trying to put it down and be there for your kids, learning fundamentals of, discipline, okay, structure, putting a plan in place for your child, wealth, generational wealth. Those are some of the things that I was not even thinking about at 17, at 19, at 22, okay? I wasn't thinking about generational wealth. It was just, okay, let's get through this week. Let's get through next week, And through all of that, having to deal with so much responsibility, it can be so draining. It can be just so heavy on you. But you can get through it and you can make it. It has been done. It's been done plenty of times. And, even some of those parents that were teenage, parents have built successful businesses. Their kids are doing great. Nobody has just a blueprint for parenting. Yes, there's things out there that you can incorporate, for your children. There's different parenting groups that you can go through that could help you become a better parent or just teach you some fundamental things to help you along in your journey. But nobody has all of the answers. So don't be hard on yourself, and I'm talking to myself too, because I definitely am. I'm analytical. I go through things. I just repeat stuff over and over and over. I analyze all the time. And it's just like, slow your roll. You're doing an awesome job, And so I think that we should just be more loving to those who are in the predicaments of being a teen parent, whether that's the father or the mother that is going to be the teen parent in the situation. So I would say also reaching out for support. That's something that I didn't do in the beginning. I didn't reach out for help, even though I was struggling. My mom was there, to help me, and I have family members there, to help some of the time. But reach out for support. You can also become knowledgeable in different parenting techniques if you're struggling, if you did not get the tools when you were little, if you were not shown the way on what a parent looks like or whatever, just become knowledgeable about parenting. You also need to ask yourself what it is you want for your children. Just because someone else is saying this is what it should be, this is how it should go, you should ask yourself, is this what I want for my kids? Is this going to be beneficial for my children? And then make a plan on like how you're going to get there and implement that plan. That's a big one. That is a big one because just for me in general, at this particular moment, I am in a position where, I have a spouse who is very supportive and who tries to show me, I'm laughing because it's an inside joke, but who tries to be there for me and he'll say little things like, babe, for your boys, they need this, this, and this. I'm not a man, so I don't know what it's like to be a boy. So I am so great, a man. I'm so grateful for him and for him being there, for him just stepping up and wanting to help me raise my kids, because that's a stereotype in itself. Oh, you have kids? You ain't gonna find no man who wants to be there for you and your kids, right? Those ain't his kids. So I'm actually grateful to be in a position to have someone who is there to help me raise my children when I'm not stubborn, when I'm not stubborn. Because sometimes I'm just like, well, these are my kids, okay? You're not going to be doing this, that, and that. And again, that's where that, lack of having an open mind that I want to snap every time, someone is trying to give me criticism or, trying to help me be a more productive parent and help out in areas that I may lack or I just may not be knowledgeable about. So, that is kind of my struggle now, is really just letting my guard down and being able to be in a space where I allow help to come in, and help guide me in certain situations with parenting that I may lack in. And that's what it should be as well if you are in a relationship with someone and, the kids aren't necessarily his or necessarily hers, but that is your helpmate. So whatever guidance or whatever love they're trying to, bestow upon you or your children, or any little, experiences that they may have that might actually help you in your situation, just take it. Just take it. Don't be stubborn like me, and I'm working on it, but I can admit my faults as well. Don't be stubborn and not deny your help. Deny your help, I mean. So, um, and then also for both, males and women that are teen parents or that have been or that are just parents in general, self-care time. There is nothing wrong with taking time out for yourself, okay? Um, you're always going to be a parent. Your kids aren't going to be mad at you. You need that self-care time. You definitely need that, because if you are not in a space where you feel good about yourself, it's going to reflect on the children. They're going to be able to feel it. You can't always hide that. So definitely take some time out for you. Find that love of self again. Find out what it is that inspired you from the very get-go. Make those 20 things that you love to do and still, have your own life. Because just because you're a parent doesn't mean that you die, right? And remember that it's okay. You may not have dinner made every day. You may not have, these expansive meals every night, but if they are eating and they're eating properly, I'm not talking about junk food and stuff like that, but if you have food for them, it's okay. It's okay for you to teach them how to cook. Okay, this night is your night to cook. Mommy's going to take a break here, right? It's okay. It's okay if you need a break. Don't feel bad about needing a break. You're fine. And also, when you know better, you do better. So stop beating yourself up. Again, I'm talking to myself. Stop beating yourself up, Come up with a plan on where you're trying to be. Just come up with a plan and then follow it. What are the steps I need to take to make sure that I can get my family to this point, And then just keep climbing from there. Just keep climbing. I find that I'm still working on this as well, but having a routine, a schedule for your kids that they can follow, it's probably going to be beneficial for them, having a regimen for the kids. And that way, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Everybody has a schedule, and that will, also leave time for you to, have a little time for yourself to regroup, release, right? Do some meditation, right? And forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. If you feel any, negative vibes or negative feelings, just forgive yourself. Don't carry that stuff on for years, because it's not going to be good for you or the kids. And it can lead to depression and some of those other things that you just don't need in your life right now. So we are going to do our breathing techniques and our breathing exercises. I love doing breathing techniques. Sometimes I do fall off and I forget to do them in the midst of things, but just trying to incorporate this, with my kids as well. Let's take some breaths throughout our day. It can become very strenuous. And, if you're a teen parent now, you're going to have a lot of strenuous times and a lot of strenuous moments where you just need to breathe and take a breath. So this is why breathing is so important, and it can be so beneficial to your life. And I like to incorporate this into our chats and our talks. And also, I don't just get up here to talk. I'm sharing some very intimate, things and perspectives that are actually happening in my life and that have happened to me in my life, in hopes that I can reach someone who may be going through some of the things that we talk about, some of these statistics, because I know that I'm not the only one. So this is not easy for me to discuss my life on camera. I'm a very private person. But again, my hopes is to be able to encourage someone else who has gone through the same thing as me to let you know that, Your life isn't over. It's okay. We make mistakes, but we can get up and we can become our better selves, better versions of ourselves. You know, it just takes a little bit of self-love, self-care, hard work, determination, and we can get there, okay? So let's go ahead and do our breathing techniques. I need everyone to sit up and just get in a comfortable space. Make sure that your feet are planted on the ground. Make sure that you are just ready to release at this moment with me. And we're going to start off with 3 cleansing breaths. We're going to close our eyes. And we're going to take our first deep breath in. And blow it out. Deep breath in. And blow it out. Last time, deep breath in. And release it. This next set, we're going to imagine a white, bright light, and it's going to cleanse and clear our aura, all of our negative thinking that we have thought about when it concerns to teen pregnancy, being a teen mom that's pregnant, or a teen dad who's about to become a father, or if you have experienced being a teen mom in the past and you're still trying to, you know, just be the best parent that you can, any negative emotions attached to that, we're going to release and let go at this time. When you exhale, you're going to blow out a gray exhaust, and that's all those toxins and negative thinking, okay? Here we go, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last time, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Awesome. That always makes me feel so much lighter, so much freer. I just love it. So the next part we're going to do is we're going to recharge our thinking, okay? We're going to start to put some positive, reaffirming affirmations in our brain to help us on our journey of being parents, of being a teen mom, a teen dad, okay? So allow yourself permission to accept these affirmations by just saying, I allow myself to accept these affirmations, or I give myself permission, okay? I love myself. I love my children. I am important. I don't need to be perfect. I'm going to reach my dreams. I am never alone. I am worthy of love. Taking time for me is not only okay, it's necessary. I am a good mom, or I am a good dad. What other moms or dads do has no bearing on me or my abilities. Okay? I hope that you all have enjoyed those affirmations. I hope that you enjoyed the breathing techniques, and I hope that you enjoyed this brief discussion on teen pregnancy within our culture. Please join me on next Wednesday or next Thursday morning. It always changes, but join me as we tackle on yet another statistic. And please feel free to leave comments. Just leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Share this if you would like to share it. Like if you would like to like it. Okay. Thank you so much again for joining me, the statistic, Nikki. And I will see you all next week. All right. Peace.